Hi, my name is Emily Madill. I'm here with what I call my weekly happiness video where I read aloud this week's featured article. This week's article is one that I wrote a couple of years ago, but it still feels timely today. It's called 3 Ways to Feel Centered So You Can Create a Life You Love. When you feel unhinged in your life, how do you come back to a place of feeling centered? If you've felt off for a while, do you recall what it's like to feel centered and grounded? I view feeling centered as the experience that comes from being in alignment. It's when who you truly are matches how you show up in your daily life. It's easy to detect when you come across someone who is not aligned. You can feel it. While you can't always put your finger on what seems off, you may find yourself thinking something like, he doesn't seem authentic, or she is hard to read, or I'm not sure why, but I don't trust that person. If you are the one feeling out of alignment, your inner dialogue might go something like this. I'm overwhelmed. I'm such an idiot. Everything feels overly hard. I don't know who I am anymore, or I feel lost. Feeling centered and grounded doesn't protect us from challenges and hardships in life, but coming back home to your inner truth creates a deep sense of personal harmony. Being in alignment with your truth makes traveling through life's bumps a little less lonely and confusing. It's like moving through life with your best friend at your side. If your best friend was going through hard times, you wouldn't say to her, "You'll never get through this. You should give up. You shouldn't feel like that," or worse, "You're a loser." You would never think of saying any of those things. Instead, you'd lift her up and tell her she's got this and that she is strong. You'd comfort your friend and tell her it's okay to feel sad, scared, or frustrated. You'd remind her that who she is so much more than the experience she's going through. Feeling centered is like this too. It's about staying connected to your inner wise guide and BFF. It's about making that relationship more valuable and credible than the voice of the obnoxious roommate in your head, the one who loves to tell you all the reasons why you aren't good enough or why things won't work out for you. Guiding our daily lives from a place of feeling centered won't extinguish the urge to listen to the obnoxious roommate in our minds, but it does help us feel like we are worthy of being on a human journey. When we know our worth and we stop beating up on ourselves, it's easier to see all that is good about our lives. When I feel out of alignment, these are the 3 strategies I use to get back to a place of feeling centered. Next time you feel off your game, give them a try. Number 1, draw on your sources of inspiration. Who or what inspires you? Make a list, either on paper or in your mind, of the type of people and experiences that help you feel hopeful and uplifted. Sometimes the best way to get motivated to get back on your game is to be moved by someone else's story of resilience. There are countless stories, past and present, that illustrate the strength and tenacity of the human spirit. More often than not, the person at the heart of the inspiring story tapped into their beliefs and inner resolve. They turned inward to steady themselves so they'd feel up to the task of moving through what appeared to be unthinkable. This same human spirit lives within you, and when you feel connected and tethered to her, life instantly feels better. Draw on your sources of inspiration when you aren't sure how to find your way back home to yourself. Number 2, use microsteps to create momentum. The best way to create habits of thinking and being that actually stick is to know how you want to feel and then make small steps forward. I'm a fan of using microsteps to get on the path of making change. Microsteps are small, realistic steps that are attainable because they meet you where you're at. When we feel off our game, there can be a tendency to build evidence and momentum that keeps us feeling stuck. But when we put our focus on what we want, and what we want is to feel better, microsteps are the ideal place to start. Everyone's steps will look different. The main idea is to personalize the microsteps and make them attainable in order to experience small wins. These wins help create new momentum toward feeling aligned and in a life we love. Number 3, give yourself a daily physical reset. One way to look at what it means to be in alignment with our center is to consider the relationship between our human body and our human spirit. We identify with both, yet we may not give a lot of thought to how our physical health affects the wellness of our being, or our well-being. When our human body feels stressed out, burned out, depleted, and not cared for, It's challenging to have the awareness and wherewithal to listen to our inner spirit and wisdom. It's hard to feel centered and connected to our spirit when our bodies are perpetually tired and worn. Instead of aiming to overhaul our physical health all at once, use micro steps to create a daily physical reset. See how it feels to implement one small physical reset at a time. Here are some ideas for boosting your physical health on a daily basis. Leave your phone out of your bedroom at night. Reduce distraction and aim to get a solid night's sleep. Stay hydrated throughout the day. Set reminders on your phone or on sticky notes to drink more water. Start your morning with a meditation practice. End your day with a gratitude practice. Be mindful of what you consume for a day. That includes what you eat, what you read and listen to, and what you take in on social media. Unplug from your devices and social media for the day. Aim to eat whole live food for a day. Get outside and move your body. Have dance breaks throughout the day to move your body and ease stress. Make a point of laughing throughout the day. Watch something funny or tap into your sources of humor. Hug the people you love. Add to this list or create your own list of small, attainable ways you can boost your physical health one step at a time. When we feel better in our bodies, it's easier to feel centered and connected to our spirit and our truth. When we are connected to our truth, we can't help but create a life we love. What about you? What do you most love about your life? So that is this week's article, 3 ways to feel centered so you can create a life you love. And this article, as I shared, I did write it a couple of years ago. It's published and up on my website, emilymadill.com. And it's also up on thriveglobal.com. So I'll include a link below this video if you want to have a read through the article or you want to share it out with someone who could use a little boost. And I also do send out what I call a weekly happiness note. It's an article and video like this, as well as a personalized little message with just simple reminders, things that you know about, but just that regular weekly reminder to see yourself as resourceful, to build up that toolkit, to turn inward, to watch what it is that you're taking in, and just start from where you are. So there are simple ideas like that that kind of put you in the driver's seat of your health and your well-being and your life. So I'll include a link on how you can sign up for those free notes. And I'll also include a link to a couple of additional resources. One is the Fall in Love with Your Life 1 Week at a Time book that I launched back in 2015. This is a journal style book. It includes a weekly topic and prompt. You can write right inside of the book. It's all about strengthening that interconnection, that relationship that you have with yourself and your self-awareness. It's about just putting new habits of thinking and being in play 1 week at a time. So this will cover you for an entire year. This book, I will include the link below. It's available at different local bookstores as well as most popular online retailers. And then the other resource is a new one that I've launched back in the fall. It's called the Fall in Love with Your Life Seasonal Planner, a heart-centered feminine way to organize your time. And this planner is more than a planner. It's more like a resource guide for implementing small steps, self-care, having a weekly intention. Yes, there's space for all of those to-dos of, getting things out of your mind onto paper, but it's all about creating a weekly planning ritual that factors you and your self-care in the mix. It's a full color planner. Again, it will cover you for 3 months. It looks at time in a cyclical kind of way, and you organize your day in a circle around a 24-hour clock. So I will include a link to this. I also have a membership around this for accountability. So I'll include links to all of those things if you are looking for additional resources to just to strengthen that relationship that you have with yourself and to just feel better in your own life and to put yourself in charge and as you're, just in charge of your personal happiness and your well-being. So I hope something here was helpful. And again, I'll include all those links, and I just want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope something here was helpful. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you.